Some of you might think that the only difference between the ASICS GT-2000 Gore-Tex and the regular version is just that one is waterproof and one isn't. But that's not the case. It's actually one of 5 key differences between the two shoes that you might be surprised about. And if we talk about the waterproofness first, yes, it does cover the whole shoe, and in fact the tongue is stitched in so that it doesn't permeate the shoe even if it gets up onto the laces. So you have nice dry foot no matter what the conditions are. One of the downsides to this is in warmer weather the shoe isn't as breathable, and therefore you can get a little bit clammy in your foot, or if you're prone to a sweatier foot it may not be ideal in hotter climates or as you start to approach the spring. But if you're looking for a shoe that makes sure your feet are dry no matter what the conditions, then the Gore-Tex version is an excellent option. The second difference is the weight. So you have a heavier shoe in the Gore-Tex version versus the non-Gore-Tex, which comes in around 273 grams for a size 9 men's US versus 300 grams. And the reason for that is you've got a different outsole. So when we look towards the outsole of the Gore-Tex versus the non-Gore-Tex version, you can see that we've got slightly thicker lugs on the non-Gore-Tex version. So that means that it gives you better traction underneath your foot. It also means that you can then move on to some gravel paths and onto some wet grass, some mud, and you'll get much better traction in the Gore-Tex than you will on the non-Gore-Tex, which is primarily for road use only. It does give adequate grip in wet conditions on tarmac. However, if you were to move onto grassy surfaces or some light mud, you're definitely going to slip and slide in the non-Gore-Tex version. So you have this extra thick rubber underneath your foot, and then this results in a fourth difference between the two shoes, and that is that it's a much stiffer shoe that feels different underfoot when it comes to the cushioning. So first of all, it's much harder to bend in the forefoot compared to the non-Gore-Tex version, which is very flexible, which assists with the push-off phase of the gait cycle. So this stiffer version means that the cushioning feels much firmer underfoot. It's not as bouncy, not as responsive. So we talked about the normal GT2014 having the same cushioning as what we see in the Novablast 5, which is the FF Blast Max. So that has that kind of trampoline effect, which is really bouncy, really responsive. So it's not as responsive as the Novablast 5, and then it's even less responsive in the Gore-Tex version of the GT2014. So you have a hierarchy of responsiveness between the Novablast 5, then the GT2014, and then the Gore-Tex version of this. So if you want a better kind of ground contact feel with a stiffer shoe, more firmness to it, then the waterproof version is an excellent option. Then finally, the fifth difference is that while the normal version of both of these shoes are quite tapered in the forefoot, the non-Gore-Tex version comes in a wide version where it's not available in the Gore-Tex version at the moment. Now, if you are interested in these shoes when it comes to running or for lifestyle use, they're excellent shoes if you want a mild to moderate stability shoe. The 3D guidance system provides stability throughout the whole inner aspect of the shoe without a definitive arch support that you see in the Gel K 32. It can be used as a lifestyle shoe for walking, for standing for long periods of time, and when it comes to running, it can be used for more up-tempo workouts if you're looking for a support shoe for those faster 5 to 10k workouts, and it can be used all the way up to marathon distance. It's just maybe not as effective for race pace workouts compared to other stability shoes in the market like the Brooks Hyperion GTS 2. However, if you've got any questions on them, drop in the comment section below. I've got links in the description if you'd like to check the prices on Amazon. Buying the shoes through the links on Amazon helps fund our channel without affecting the price that you pay. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.